All right, guys, welcome to the Off the Dome and the Crafty Cast collaboration, I think is the way that we could put this. With me, I got Baller Nation. You guys might know him from his TikTok, his YouTube, his podcast, all of the above. Baller.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Quick side note, my voice is completely fucked. Um, so I'm sorry for that in advance. If you don't want to listen to what a white girl sounds like the day after Coachella, please turn off this podcast right now. Also, we're on Zoom right now, and Crafty is currently talking to a black screen because my camera is not turned on Zoom for some dumb reason. But the important thing is you guys can see both of our amazing faces in HD quality. Shout out to Canon. That's my camera provider. So, yeah.
Absolutely, mine too. Shout out to Canon out here; they really saving the day. I will put in the iCard if you guys are watching on YouTube. The Off the Dome podcast, the episode I did with Baller Nation. It's my favorite episode of the podcast, obviously. But also, I will link last year's All-Star draft because that's what we're talking about today, man. Last year we drafted our All-Star teams.
Yeah.
And I officially have the scores because I don't think me and you ever actually figured that out afterwards.
No, but I think I won because my team was way better.
Okay, well, let's get into the scores here. So last year, my team was Luka, LeBron, Bradley Beal, Joel Embiid, Kawhi, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, Zion Williamson, Julius Randle, and Devin Booker. Your team was Giannis, KD, Steph Curry, Jokic, Kyrie Irving, CP3, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, PG 13%, Jaylen Brown, Nikola Vucevic, Benjamin Simmons, who did not play. Surprise, surprise, he's not doing that this year either. And Jason Tatum. The final score, Baller Nation scored a total of 189 points. Crafty's team scored 128. But
Let's go, man. Let's fucking go.
Listen, I lost last year, but I refuse to lose this year. So for everyone who's watching, at least on my side, I will be posting updates after the All-Star game of how these teams have done on my YouTube community, which my YouTube channel is just called Crafty, and my Instagram is TheyCallMeCrafty. I will be posting these updates because this year I refuse to lose.
And for the points, is that like how many they combined scored in the All-Star game? Is that what you're going off of?
Yeah, I didn't really care for rebounds and all that because at the end of the day, your team just scored more, man.
Points is all that matters. That's literally it.
Especially in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So we have an issue this year. Kevin Durant. Last year I was team. I think I was team LeBron. He was team Kevin Durant. Yep. And this year it's the same exact captains because that's how NBA fans vote every year. We like familiarity.
Familiarity, yes.
Exactly. We like things to be familiar with us. Team Kevin this year, we have the same issue as last year. Jason Tatum is replacing Kevin Durant, which if I'm not mistaken, happened last year too. So whichever one of us. What did I say?
Sorry, no, you continue. Again, we can't see each other, so it's like normally we can go off each other's facial recognitions, but that's not an option today, so sorry about that. Crafty.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Mike is yours.
So whichever one of us is team Kevin Durant, we'll decide that literally here in just a minute. We'll just talk to each other and figure it out. Whichever one of us is team Kevin Durant, we'll have Jason Tatum automatically because that's how it's going to work in the All-Star game as well. Kevin Durant's not going to draft Tatum. Tatum just is going to be on the team automatically. So who do you want to be? I'll let you pick. Are you going to be team KD or are you going to be team LeBron?
I kind of want to be team LeBron because I don't necessarily want Tatum automatically. Like, that's not a dig on Tatum. I want to be LeBron. Last year I wasn't LeBron. This year I'm going to be LeBron.
Okay, so you'll go ahead and be team LeBron.
Yep.
That is A-okay with me. I'll take Tatum right off the back because last year I was team LeBron. And LeBron played, I believe, 16 minutes in that All-Star game and scored 4 points for me. So he's all yours, buddy. You can have him. But with that, also, I think it's only fair that since you have the guy who scored less points last year, I'll let you have first pick.
All right. And so Tatum's already on your pick, and so I have to pick straight off All-Star or straight off the starters. And I'm kind of going for players that I think will score a lot in the game. I'm going to, with my first pick, because I'm going for players that I think is going to score a lot, I'm going to pick Giannis Antetokounmpo with my first pick.
Okay, that's a good pick. He scored 35 points last year, which honestly was one of the nails in the coffin for me when you beat me.
I almost picked John Morant there, by the way. Like, John Morant, I nearly was like, because I think he might score a lot. I nearly picked him, but I think Giannis is the guy for me.
Okay, so I can agree. I think John Morant is going to score a lot of points, but my mentality here is who do I think is going to score more? And I have plenty of options here. As a Dallas Mavericks fan, I can't choose Trae Young. It's against my religion. I mean, I can choose him later, but I'm not choosing him with the number one pick. And I'm not choosing Andrew Wiggins because he shouldn't even be on this list. So you know what? Give me Joel Embiid. He's averaging 29 points per game this year, but in the last 10 games, 36 points per game. I hope he carries it over to the All-Star game for Team Crafty or LeBron or Kevin, whoever he gets picked by.
That's not a bad pick at all. Joel Embiid is, I think he's tied now for the point per game totals in the entire season. So yeah, you pick Joel Embiid. My next pick, I'm going to pick John Morant. Easy.
Okay, yeah, I thought you would leave Ja. And listen, I mean, there's a weird little debate, between Luka and Ja. Shouldn't really be because the answer is Luka, even though he's a reserve this year.
Yeah.
But, it still kind of hurts a little bit that you would take Ja with me being a Luka fan. I still feel like it's a little disrespectful.
I think you're just taking that too much to heart because Luka versus Ja, I haven't really been hearing much of that debate, honestly.
It's just probably a Mavericks thing, to be
I think
honest.
it's
I'm
a
on
Mavericks
Mavericks Twitter.
You're making it a you problem, all right? I think that's what you're doing right now.
Okay. Well, my mom always did say I was a very sensitive child, and I guess at 20 years old, nothing has changed. So I got available. I got Trae Young. Still debating on whether I want to take him this early. I got DeMar DeRozan. I got Stephen Curry. I got Nikola Jokic, and Andrew Wiggins is not an option. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with DeMar. It's his first game back, and I want to say it's been 3 or 4 years since he's been an All-Star.
No, he was an All-Star on the Spurs, I think.
I believe, but it was his first year with the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. If he was, but it's been a second for DeMar. Is my basis going off of this, and DeMar is the kind of guy to take it to heart. In interviews, if you ask him, well, what do you think about when the Bulls were the underdogs? He would say, that's why I play so good right now. And I just fact-checked that he actually did not make the All-Star game his first year with the Spurs. But I feel like I remember that happening.
Did he ever make the... He must have made it with the Spurs. I think him and LaMarcus must have made it. Or maybe it was just LaMarcus. I don't know.
He made it in Toronto 3 years straight. But yeah, I'll take DeMar. 27 points per game right now. He's like a soft MVP candidate because Joel Embiid's kind of running away with that right now.
Okay. It's interesting you say that Joel Embiid's running away with it because I think I don't really think he is.
Okay, so I know your next pick.
Completely running away with it because there's this man coming up right now that I'm going to tell you about. I have a big man crush on a certain player and a few players in the NBA, one of which is Patty Mills, who, by the way, he's officially going to be in the three-point contest, and he is going to run the show. No Steph, no Clay. Patty Mills is going to make the league his daddy, on God. With that being said, last year I did pick Davis Bertans to win the three-point contest, and he did not do that at all. But, yeah, all right, Patty Mills, big man crush. But the other man is Nikola Jokic, who I'm going to be picking right now.
Oh, my God,
easy pick.
bro.
Easy pick, Nikola.
The thing that pisses me off about that is you basically gave the same exact speech last year on the podcast, and you chose Nikola Jokic. So, I mean, he's all yours. He's all yours. He scored 6 points for you last year.
I don't care, bro. But he passes. That's the thing. He sets up. He sets it up. You can't just be picking the best scorers because you got to have the players that's going to set it up, and Jokic is that guy. On God.
On God, I guess. I'll go with it. I don't want to pick the player I'm about... No, never mind. I don't have to yet. I don't have to.
There's
so
3
I'm not
starters
going
left,
to.
right? There's Trae, Steph, and Wiggins, if I'm not mistaken.
Wiggins doesn't really count, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm mad disrespectful to Andrew Wiggins. I always have been. But you know what? I'm happy for Maple Jordan. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not picking him. I'm going to go against my religion. I'm choosing Trae Young. 27 points per game this year. He looks really solid. And I feel like in the World versus USA game, their sophomore year, I believe it was either sophomore or rookie year, him and Luka had a half-court shootout for fun.
Yeah.
And I could see Trae Young deciding to do that with Steph Curry this year if they're on opposite teams. And I guess the floor is yours because I'm assuming Steph Curry's your next pick, but I just want to hear it out of your mouth.
Yeah, so for my next pick, I'm not joking when I tell you I'm going to pick Andrew Wiggins over
Oh my
Stephen
God.
Curry.
Why?
I'm picking Andrew. First of all, I'm Canadian. All right?
Okay, that makes sense.
I got to represent. All right. Should Andrew Wiggins be a starter? Should he even be an all-star? That's
No.
low-key debatable. It is. It's debatable if he even should be an all-star. But he's a fucking starter. And as a Canadian, I have the responsibility to draft him ahead of Stephen Curry right now. Okay, I just do. All right, don't blame me. Blame my parents who gave birth to me north of the border. Okay, I'm picking Andrew Wiggins over Steph fucking Curry. All right, I just am. And watch him score more points than him too in the game. Watch him do it.
Well, then I guess that leaves me with Steph Curry to finish off my starters. And you know what? I hope he does. I hope that I actually made a tweet about it when Andrew got drafted, and I said I hope he wins All-Star MVP. I hope he just goes out there and makes us all. I hope he makes us all furious, because there would be nothing better than a man who at one point we were like, yeah, no, he's never going to do anything in the NBA.
He's a bust. Yeah.
He's a bust, number one pick to nothing, and that's probably the Timberwolves' fault. To winning an MVP in the All-Star game. God, dude, okay. Yeah, I don't even want to go on this rant. I can't. Listen, I'm not Canadian, so I'm not biased towards Andrew Wiggins, and I'm a little upset that he made the All-Star starters. But let's go over our teams before we move on, of course.
Yeah.
I got Steph at the 1, Trae at the 2, interchangeable, whatever you want to do. Put DeMar at the 3, Tatum at the 4, and I got Embiid. And I think that team beats yours out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's my team does not lose to your team straight up. I've got Ja Morant at the 1. All right, he's been having a great year. At the 2, I've got Andrew Wiggins. All right, I've got a big team as well. 2, I got Andrew Wiggins. At the 3,
Pause.
I got LeBron James, Le GOAT, Le Championship, Le All-Star, Le 19 or 18 times it is now. At the 4, I got Mr. Antetokounmpo, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what's up. And at the 5, I've got the main man himself, Big Daddy Nico. Nikola Jokic. That's what's up.
Oh, the inspiration.
Told you I love him,
inspiration himself. I know you love your boy Nikola Jokic. Now here is my issue. You have 2 players that I think are going to pop off. Absolutely. Giannis is going to pop off because he's shown in all of his All-Star games that he doesn't take this lightly. And he doesn't care. He will still dunk on you the same way he would do in the regular season. And then we have Ja, who is easily, out of all the players we drafted, over Luka especially, the most entertaining player on this list.
That's right.
That's exactly what the All-Star game is. It's just entertainment. And I think that he is going to... I think he could win the Finals MVP, the All-Star MVP this year. Call that a hot take, but Ja Morant, the way he's playing with the athleticism, the explosiveness that he is, and his three-pointers looking pretty nice right now, and that's what the All-Star game is a bunch of dunks and three-pointers, and that little mini dunk contest they always have before the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think Ja's at least going to go out there and drop 30 in the All-Star game.
Yeah. I like that you bring up the mini dunk contest too, because he'll get a few points out of that for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it'll come down to him and some other high flyer like a Zach LaVine who is in the background, or I think LaMelo Ball, who's also in the reserves, might just show out in that little mini dunk contest because why not? It's not going to be Rudy Gobert who shows out in that. So
you could. You never know, man.
I guess we never know, but if I'm not mistaken, how a draft works. Because I actually don't know. I get the first pick in the second round then, right?
You do, yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think we both are going to choose our hometown boys. Yeah. I'm taking Luka Doncic. In my notes when I write everyone's stats, I literally just wrote, take him because I have to. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. Who else am I going to choose? Give me Luka, the Wonder Boy, Magic, Doncic. I ran out of nicknames. But give me Luka. Give me Luka. That man is, honestly... If you would tell me that he was my father, I wouldn't doubt it.
And wait, so you already have Jason Tatum then on your team, right, on the bench?
Yes.
Because he's filling in for Kevin Durant. So that means at the end, I'm gonna, I guess, end up with the last 2 picks probably on the bench.
No. Tatum's technically considered a starter this year. which is really funny because I was filming
Okay.
I was filming an episode last week. My files corrupted on it, which pissed me off, of course.
Yeah.
And when Tatum was selected to the All-Star game, I guess they already knew he was a starter because they accidentally released a graphic that said All-Star starter. And
Whoops.
I was like, that's not right.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense then. So Tatum is the starter. Okay.
Yeah.
So you pick Luka Doncic. Just because I have to. I have to go with my boy, DeJounte Murray. And I think that right here, you definitely get the upper hand because Luka's probably going to score a lot more than DeJounte Murray will. This pick isn't necessarily out of me trying to win the competition. It's just out of me, being a respectable, high value person who, I've got my, what's it called, loyalty. I've got loyalty toward DeJounte Murray.
Okay.
It speaks volumes to the class at which I live my life at. And this pick is just a pure example of, just how classy of a person I really am. I'm going with an unpopular pick here. I'm picking DeJounte Murray over, all these other players who are going to drop probably 30 pieces. But it's whatever. We move. Your pick.
No, I mean, no, absolutely. Because as a Spurs fan, you have to choose DeJounte.
You got to.
As a Mavericks fan, I have to pick Luka Doncic. That's how it works. Now, my big issue is that we only have 2 centers on the bench here. And I don't want you to get the one that's going to probably drop about 20 points. So give me Karl Anthony Towns. I'm going to go ahead and take a center early because we don't have much opportunity to take anybody else. And shout out to Cat for being back in the All-Star game after the one hell of a train wreck of a year that he's had.
I honestly think Karl Anthony Towns will probably drop more than 30 or more than 20. Like I could see him up there in the 30s genuinely. That might be my hot take for this year. My second pick. There's a few players here because on the bench there's a lot of those kinds of players that might just go for 35. There's a few players that kind of have that flair about them that you could see popping off in a game like the All-Star game. But I'm gonna pick the safest pick. I'm gonna go with Devin Booker.
Okay.
My second pick.
Damn, that was my next pick. Okay. Great minds think alike on that one, I guess. D-Book, he is arguably, if you have to put one of the Suns players in MVP conversations, it's either him or Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And I think you do have to because what the hell is that team right now, dude?
They're good as shit.
They look like they should have won the finals last year. So honestly, no, amazing pick. With that being said, about the Phoenix Suns, you already know who I got to go with. Darius Garland. Because I do live in Ohio, and it's the same thing with Maple Jordan. There's guys who I think are going to pop off way more than Darius Garland. But the All-Star Game's in Cleveland, and this is the first time that they've had an All-Star not named LeBron, Kevin Love, or Kyrie Irving in like 10 years. So you got to give me Darius Garland just for the fact that I have to rep my boy who's in Cleveland and who's playing in Cleveland. He has home court advantage. So
yeah, I feel like who else were Cleveland Cavalier All-Stars? Was it because I know back in the 90s they had Mark Price and what was his name Doherty or something. They had a big center.
Red Doherty, however you say his name.
And then was Mo Williams ever an All-Star when he was on Cleveland?
I think that might have been the All-Star game he made. I don't know for sure, but I also know that I know Zydrunas Ilgauskas was one of LeBron's All-Star teammates, and maybe Boobie Gibson.
Right, yeah. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, fucking legend right there.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Darius Garland, for a lot of reasons you just said there, I think he was one of those players when I was looking through here. I'm like, he's a guy that might just pop off because it's in Cleveland. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He has to get a lot of playing time, especially if Jared Allen's not in the game. That's the hometown boy. By the way, I think Jared Allen should get in. The LaMelo Ball selection, that should have been Jared Allen or Pascal Siakam, in my opinion. But the fans want to see LaMelo Ball.
Oh, dude, for sure. No, you got to understand that one at least a little bit.
It was a business decision, I think, by the NBA to make that pick.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my third pick off the bench. Now I've got 2 guys here now that I think will be popping off, or could be popping off. I'm gonna go with the safer one again. I'm gonna go with Zach LaVine.
Okay.
for my third pick.
Okay. That was also my next pick. So if you could please calm down on taking every player that I want, that would be really nice. I'm trying to win this game.
Okay.
But so far, I do think my team is going to score more points, at least at where we're at right now. Because I'm trying to go off some guys. That are just going to go out here and get buckets. That's what this is about. I'm not worried about how many assists these guys are going to get or how many rebounds. I need buckets, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and a certified bucket getter in the All-Star game specifically. He's only averaging like 19.5 points per game, I think it is, this year. But give me Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton in the All-Star game is a sniper. I want to say it was 2 years ago. I slandered him on TikTok and to all my friends, and I said he doesn't even deserve to be here. And then he hit 4 threes in a row in the first quarter. So Chris Middleton is a certified bucket in the All-Star game, at least historically. So yeah, give me Chris Middleton, and I can't have you with the Giannis and Chris Middleton chemistry. So.
Right, yeah, that would be pretty killer. And it's funny how far Chris Paul's sliding right now, because I think it's pretty safe to say that he's better than most of the players that we've picked, at least off the bench. But he's going to score probably like 6 points in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My next pick, again, I'm doing it because, and I just kind of said that he shouldn't have been in the All-Star game, but I'm going to pick LaMelo Ball here.
Damn it.
That's my guy. I did it to him again. Like, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
I'm honest, like, I know how to beat him. I know how to beat Crafty. I just do. I beat him last year. I'm going to beat him again this year. LaMelo Ball is the choice. It just is. My voice
is the choice. Why do you think I wanted him?
Yeah, so we got, like, there's 5 guys left. Out of the 5, there's maybe, like, 3 that might score over 20.
And it's a big might, because the reserves can play almost no minutes, which I think is funny. I would hate to be a guy who makes the All-Star game and plays like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, with making the All-Star game, I wouldn't, like, I feel like that's just good enough, you know? Like.
Yeah, I guess you still get to go to the All-Star practice and all that shit, but, like, I don't. Yeah. I feel like I would feel disrespected, because you know that Chris Middleton thinks he's better than DeMar DeRozan, and you know that, like, a guy like LaMelo's out here with the confidence that he's better than Jason Tatum.
That's facts.
There's got to be some pride in there. I gotta go with a safe pick. I don't know. Damn. Actually, I re-looked at the list I got here. I'm between 2 guys. I'm going with hella guards right now too, but also the bench has. Well, hold on, let me look. D-Book, Zach LaVine, and Chris Middleton. I'm pretty sure and Luka are the only guys who are forwards on the bench, and they're all taken.
You pick Gobert.
Fuck you, dude. I'm not doing that. There's no way. You know what? I'll go with it. It's a risky pick. There's 2. He's the riskiest pick, but also I feel like he has the biggest potential to pop off in this game over these other guys. As far as what his ceiling would be, give me Fred VanVleet, Fred Van Buckets. Let's go.
Okay.
Give me Fred VanVleet.
He was one of the
He can just do what Darius Garland can do, just without the home court advantage.
Yeah.
And I want that, because Fred VanVleet, he doesn't have the flashy dunking that someone like LaMelo, Zach LaVine, or even LeBron can walk out there and do.
Yeah.
But what he does have is an absolute strap from deep, and that's the second part of the All-Star game.
Yeah. And it's like, if the All-Star game was in Toronto, I think Fred VanVleet would have been a much higher pick. Just because,
my God, yeah.
Like, he would have gotten a ton of playing time and would just be unleashing 3-pointers from way downtown, no matter how much he was getting in. Do we have, just to confirm, is there 4 picks left here?
That's what I'm looking at, yeah. CP3, Rudy Gobert, Spida Mitchell, and James Harden.
James Harden. All right. Yeah, like, I feel like the Chris Paul slander has gone as far as it should right now. With that being said, I'm not going to pick him.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell, because he's a bucket for sure. I can't believe it's probably. I don't want to speak too early here, but I feel like it's going to come down between Chris Paul and Rudy Gobert, which is so disrespectful to Chris Paul.
No. And I guess I'll go ahead with my next pick on that note. It is going to come down to Rudy Gobert and Chris Paul. I don't want James Harden because I don't even think he's going to play. And because of his hamstring that is nagging him right now. But they don't have, at the time of this recording, which is on February 8th, they don't have a replacement for him yet. Yeah. So I'm risking a lot by saying that I would rather have someone who might not get me any points at all than CP3. But I have explanations for it. Okay. But I'll let you do your next pick. But give me James.
Real quick, if there is a replacement for James Harden, he will just go to your team, right? And you'll get all the points and stuff for him.
That's not how I did it last year, just because I looked back at the stats today and couldn't remember who was a replacement for who. But since I'm going to be doing this in real time, then yes, I guess we can do it that way. So whoever James Harden's replacement is, it could be Jared Allen. He'll be there because the skills challenge was just announced today.
Yeah,
and Jared Allen's in it.
Yeah, it'll be probably Allen or Siakam, one of those two. Which either one I think are pretty good picks.
Exactly. Yeah. And if James Harden backs out early, if he says let me go as far as possible, and it gets to the day before the All-Star game, he says I can't play, Jared Allen's already there. So I think Jared Allen is more likely, but also I'm a big Pascal Siakam slander kind of guy, so that also could play into this.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, so for my last pick, I don't really feel bad doing this to you. It's just kind of funny that you're going to be stuck with Rudy Gobert, and I'm going to have the chemistry of Chris Paul and LeBron James, the Banana Boat crew.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick Chris Paul, my last pick here, and you're going to have Rudy Gobert.
Okay, so my reason for not picking Chris Paul is not just because we know he's not a scorer. We actually saw him catch an alley-oop, I think it was last year, and that was probably the craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. 100% did not expect to see that. He was either last year or the year before. But it was probably my favorite All-Star moment besides Giannis jumping nearly over the backboard to grab a lob from Steph Curry. Yeah. But last year he had 16 assists, which is great. But we didn't count assists last year.
No.
And we're not counting them this year. So as cool as that is, Chris Paul is, I'm pretty sure he actually is the all-time leader in All-Star game assists, or he was getting really close last year. But I don't care. I really don't for this scenario. But if it was a real draft, CP3 would have been taken with my third pick. So, respectfully, why don't you read off your team so that the viewers know?
All right, I'll read off my team real quick here. So yeah, in our draft, LeBron James was my captain. First pick, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I got Ja Morant. I got Nikola Jokic, and I picked Andrew Wiggins ahead of Stephen Curry because man's Canadian, innit?
That's gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah, it definitely will. Wiggins will score more than Steph Curry in the All-Star game, all right? Clip this. I promise. It's a risky
Whatever
pick,
you
but
say.
All right, and on the bench, my first pick was DeJounte Murray. It's got to be. He's the best player in the entire All-Star game and the best player in the entire NBA. We know that by now, all right? Up next, I picked Devin Booker, Zachary LaVine. I got two guys there, by the way, Zach LaVine and Ja Morant. But at the end of the game, when they do that dunk contest that they always do, those two guys are going to be in it. A few points there.
Yes,
got
sir.
LaMelo Ball, fan favorite, Donovan, Spider Mitchell, and Chris Paul, Rookie of the Year, 06 Chris Paul shit, just so that you can have Rudy Gobert. So, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And before I review my team, we're going to go ahead and go into the sponsor segment. Thank you to Jersey Frost for sponsoring this podcast.
Real quick question for you. You ever went on the NBA store and you're like, dang, these $110 jerseys are really going to run me in my bag? Well, here, I got you. If you want good quality jerseys at a low cost, click the link in the bio and shop Jersey Frost, or the description of the video, I should say, not the bio. And if you use code CRAFTY, you get 10% off. Let's get back to the podcast.
All right. Once again, shout out to Jersey Frost for sponsoring this podcast. I've been working with Jersey Frost for about a year now, and they haven't let me down. If you want high-quality jerseys at a low cost, shop Jersey Frost. I just came up with that tagline last week. I'm pretty proud of it. What do you think?
That was good. By the way, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I'm not sponsored by Jersey Frost, but I put Crafty's link in the description of this video because I'm just helping, I'm helping a brother out. All right, so...
I appreciate it.
You're welcome for all the money that my viewers are about to go spend on Jersey Frost.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro, you can get some high-quality jerseys for $40, but the sponsor segment's been over, so we're going to get into the team now.
Okay.
So team Off the Dome, Team Baller Nation, whatever you want to call it,
Yes, sir.
Team LeBron, if you will. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. This team's all right. I mean, you got Andrew Wiggins, and you chose Andrew Wiggins over Steph Curry, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because even if we look back at last year, how many points did Andrew Wiggins score in the All-Star game? If I remember correctly, it was 0 with 0 minutes played.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the All-Star game at all.
He wasn't. This is a joke.
Is that your point? Okay.
Yeah, no, that was the point. I promise. But Steph Curry scored 28 points last year, nearly a 30 bomb. And like I mentioned with Fred VanVleet, them deep three-pointers are a huge part of the All-Star game, and that's called the Steph Curry effect. So my team, we're rocking out with Jason Tatum. Okay, he matches up well with LeBron, in my opinion. Joel Embiid matches up way better with Nikola Jokic than a lot of people would like to agree with, especially you, who is a Daddy Jokic fan, as you said yourself.
I am on his
quote from you.
I am on his
DeMar DeRozan, he's gonna lock up this shit out of Andrew Wiggins. 100% gonna happen. Trae Young, John Morant's gonna jump over him. I'll tell you that. And then Steph Curry. I like that matchup right there. And then we throw in Luka Doncic, we throw in Karl-Anthony Towns, Darius Garland, the hometown boy, Chris Middleton, Mr. Prove Crafty wrong when Crafty trash talked him before the All-Star game a couple years ago. Fred Van Buckets. He needs to change his last name because that man's a walking bucket. James Harden. Wish I didn't have to pick him, but I did because I was left with Chris Paul or Rudy Gobert, and I don't think either of them were going to score big. And then I still got stuck with Rudy Gobert's ass. So.
You're welcome.
Listen, bro. Let's make predictions for what the score is. Last year, my team scored 128 points. I'm telling you right now, we're dropping at least 180. 180 points for my team.
Sorry, wait. What was my team score last year? Just to remind everyone.
I don't think they need to know, but it was 189. So 189. I think I'm gonna perform a little bit less than you did last year, but you're gonna perform less than you did last year too.
You think 189 is unachievable?
Again, yes, because last year my picks were just god awful, bro. I had 2 players who didn't play, in Devin Booker and Joel Embiid.
Okay, that's you know what? I'll give you that. That's actually kind of unfortunate. That's unlucky.
It is.
180. Like, okay, if you're predicting that your team's gonna get 180, I can't pick less than that unless I want to look. Unless I want to look really real humble. I think 100. Listen, 180 is high. It's high.
I got high hopes.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck it. I'm gonna go 190 then. I'm picking 190 points.
Okay.
My team's going for 190. We're popping off. Cause look, the way I'm looking at it, John Morant's gonna give me 40 easy. We already know Devin Booker's gonna be 40. That's 80 points right there off 2 guys.
I don't know about 40.
40 is definitely possible for John Morant. And Andrew Wiggins, that's a walking 30-piece for sure in the All-Star game.
I once again got to disagree. I feel like the Canadian bias is definitely jumping out right there.
All right, I'm at 110 points, by the way, right now, though. Nikola Jokic, he'll probably give me 25.
Oh, so I thought you were about to say he was dropping 90.
I mean, he could. Maybe not 90. He might contribute for 90 points just with assists and whatnot. But yeah, I think between because Giannis will give me 30. That's another. I'm at least at 150 right now, and then Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo Ball, and Zach LaVine and DeJounte Murray, or whoever else I didn't say, can combine for fucking 50 or 40 points or whatever. They can do it. They got it. I got faith in the boys for sure.
I'm glad you got faith in the boys. Do I? No, I did not. But one thing. So we discussed All Stars. And I didn't prepare for doing this, but this podcast it's not as long right now as I like mine to be. I don't know about you. But I feel like it's a little underachieved. So let me pull up some tweets from my boy, my quote unquote colleague, I guess you could say, Adrian Wojnarowski. Okay, Woj. There we go.
Wojnarowski.
I think. Is that right? It's like Woj. It's Woj. That's who it is. We're just gonna stick with Woj because it's gonna kill me. Let's talk about the 2 trades that went down today. The two trades that made my workday very interesting, I might add. And let's just talk about like what this could mean for each team, or at least what you see from each team, because we didn't have time to write notes, so I'm not expecting no in-depth analysis. So I have it pulled up, so I can go over the trades here. Yes. The Portland Trailblazers trade C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell, the 100% free throw shooter over the last 3 years, I might add, for Josh Hart, Tomas Satoransky. I never figured out how to say his first name, so I'm not going to try. But Walker Alexander, I think it's just like Nikhil.
Nikhil? I call him Nikhil. I don't know.
Nikhil. Okay. I've always struggled with his first name because the I really it's after the E, which is completely opposite of what all my teachers told me it would be like in real life. And then they threw in Didi, a 2022 first round pick, and 2 second-round picks. And the Pelicans get sorry, no. That's what the Pelicans gave up. So I guess like my question to you is like what does that even mean for like either team? Like, are you seeing anything from these?
Well, the Portland Trailblazers are down bad as fuck. Like the Robert Covington, Norman Powell, and now C.J. McCollum. Damian Lillard he's gone. As soon as, I don't know when his contract is up, if it's summer, they might even trade him. I don't know, but as soon as he can get out, he's gone. Like he's not staying. This team has completely been blown up, and I don't know. It's tough for New Orleans too, because you look at their team now and they got a guy. They're made up of guys that I think are a little bit. You can't fully trust right now. You look at Zion Williamson, hasn't played all year. I don't really know what's going on with him, and I think he's hurt, but when he comes back, his weight is actually an issue now, and I didn't think it would be 2 years ago. And C.J. McCollum's been hurt and hot and cold. When he's healthy and when he's on, he's an amazing player to have on your team, especially in the playoffs. Just ask the Portland Trailblazers, who had C.J. McCollum coming through a lot of playoff series. Like, as far as is there a winner to this trade, I kind of want to lean actually Portland, just long-term wise. Again, like, I don't think this will have a massive impact on the whole landscape of the NBA, because it doesn't really make either team like anything close to a contender at all. It might help New Orleans get into the play-in game toward the end of the year, because I think they are the 10th seed right now, and C.J. McCollum won't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree, but I think there's a clear winner, at least in my opinion. Well, I think both teams are winners, I might add. Winners in Portland, they did it way too late, but they finally realized it's time to blow everything up. This isn't going to work. And I 100% agree with you, but I'm going as far as to say that this podcast won't even be released by the time it happens, so we're going to find out whether I'm right or wrong. I'll put a timestamp to prove that I said this now. I think Damian Lillard's out of here by Thursday, sorry. The trade deadline's the end of Thursday. I think he's out of here by Thursday. Because if I'm Damian Lillard, at least, in my opinion, if I am Damian Lillard, which I am not, I am crafty, but if I'm Damian Lillard, I'm asking out of there right now. You just got rid of the guy next to me. I'm 31 years old, pushing 32. Why I can't stay for a rebuilding process? By the time that you guys are quote-unquote done rebuilding, I'm going to be 35, and I'm not going to be able to help you guys. And Dame wants a ring. I mean, every NBA player wants a ring, and it's clear that if he's loyal to Portland right now, he's just not going to get it. And he's going to be remembered as John Stockton. But on the Pelicans side, I think this is great, because next year they have a potential starting lineup of Devontae Graham, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, and Zion Williamson.
That's not bad.
And I don't think Brandon Ingram and Zion fit well together. I said it on your podcast. I said it on the podcast that got corrupted. I honestly thought he was going to be the one that got traded. I thought they were going to swap B.I. for C.J. McCollum, which, if I'm honest, that's the better move for the Trailblazers. But that, I don't think they worked well together, but I think C.J. McCollum might help them out into a playoff spot next year, and maybe a play-in spot this year. But while my camera's about to die, we'll move on to the next trade real fast, because my camera died, which is how my files got corrupted during the last podcast.
That's tough.
So the Indiana Pacers, this team confuses the absolute hell out of me, dude. I'm so confused. The Indiana Pacers trade Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. I understand why the Pacers did this, because I would like to think that the dumbass Sacramento Kings were the ones that called them and said, hey, you want Tyrese Halliburton? If you trade either of the Kings guards, you trade De'Aaron Fox right now. He's older, and you could argue that in 2 years, Tyrese Halliburton is going to look a lot better than De'Aaron Fox does right now because of how well he's been playing in his last couple games. I believe it's the last 10 games, he's averaging like 19 points a game right now.
Yeah.
And you gave him up, this young star that actually looked good, a young star that looked good in a Kings uniform. The last time we saw that was DeMarcus Cousins, or besides De'Aaron Fox, it was DeMarcus Cousins. And look what y'all did with him. Look what y'all did with him. You
Wasted
traded
his prime.
Exactly. And they traded Tyrese Halliburton. The Pacers win easy. They also got Buddy Hield and Tristan Thompson out of this. And this gives Miles Turner, this is also from Woj, this is not my quote, I won't take credit for it, but this also gives Miles Turner an ability to actually play center instead of playing power forward and letting Sabonis run center. So I know Miles Turner's happy, and I know that if I'm a Kings fan, I'm pissed. I'm absolutely pissed.
Yeah, like I don't really know what else to say. Like, you kind of hit it on the head there. I think the Sacramento Kings and the New York Knicks are sort of in a league of their own as far as just like mediocrity goes. You know, it's just the same thing year after year after year after year. Look, I don't really know what else to add, honestly. I think Tyrese Halliburton's a great player, and I think Buddy Hield's a great player, and I think the Indiana Pacers definitely win this trade, but there's really no future in Indiana. Like, even with these good young players, I still find it difficult to think that Indiana will be in any spot to contend for a championship in a few years. Like, I just don't think they will be. And the Sacramento Kings won't be either. Like, it was crazy, too, that the Kings a few years ago were like, yo, look, they finished 9th, I think, in the West. This was before the play-in games. They finished 9th in the West. They're a year or two away from being a playoff team. They are kind of what the Memphis Grizzlies were. They were what the Memphis Grizzlies were a few years ago. Where we look at the team, a lot of good young pieces, and thinking, hey, they're a year or two away from being a serious playoff team. Memphis Grizzlies lived up to the hype. Sacramento Kings found a way to fuck it all up. That's really my take.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with you, man. It's just the Pacers win. Obviously, I don't think this is like making the Pacers a contender or anything. But if I'm a Pacers fan, we just got Tyrese Halliburton, who I think could be a potential multiple-time All-Star. And you gave up Domantas Sabonis, who, I mean, he is an ex-All-Star. Could potentially make an argument to have made it this year. But he's like, Tyrese Halliburton, I'd much rather have him than Sabonis, especially in the position that the Indiana Pacers are in right now.
Yeah.
Just because they're obviously not winning now. And they just got rid of Karis LeVert. So let's do real quick takes. If you got time with your podcast and I got time with mine, just like absolutely quick takes so that my battery doesn't die. Karis LeVert to the Cavs. How do you like it?
For Cleveland, it's great. The team's looking very dangerous, and I don't know, I just love it a lot. And maybe, hopefully, the Cleveland Cavalier, like if Bronny is the perfect prospect that falls to Cleveland in a few years, and then LeBron goes to play with Bronny and finishes his career in Cleveland with the good young core they have, just imagine. Oh, what scenes to end LeBron's career.
Oh my gosh. That'd be the dream ending, and I would hope to still be a season ticket holder. I gotta agree. The only thing I want to add on to that is just that they secured a wing player, because their best wing player was Isaac Okoro, and then behind him was Lamar Stevens, and then behind him was Mfiondu Kabengele. Besides Isaac Okoro, literally who? Yeah. Like that's just sad. And then real quick, Norman Powell to the Clippers. That happened a couple days ago. We actually got to see Norman Powell. I think he dropped 20. I want to say he dropped 23. It was either 23 or 28. I can't remember which one. But he put up some decent stats in his first game with the Clippers. You like it or not?
The Clippers can win an NBA championship this year. They can. Kawhi and Paul George come back. This is a team that can't contend, but genuinely can be in the NBA Finals. With healthy Kawhi and with healthy Paul George, with this team that they have right now, I think they're the favorites to come out of the West. Genuinely.
Yeah, of course, if healthy. Which we don't know the status on Kawhi still, because it's Kawhi. He's the quietest player in the NBA. And Paul George, we really don't know the status on much either. But we're still waiting on some updates for them. But yeah, I agree. When healthy, either whether it's this year or whether it's next year, that's a favorite team right there. But also, we said the same thing when Kawhi and Paul George first teamed up. It is still the Clippers, which is basically somehow are still the lesser version of the Lakers. It's always that way. But I appreciate. I had a lot of fun on this collab Zoom podcast. Not Zoom podcast. Sorry, this collab NBA podcast. We drafted our All Stars, and for everyone watching on my end, you can go ahead and check out the Instagram at TheyCallMeCrafty or the YouTube community pages. After the All-Star game, I will have updated scores for who we all drafted and which one of us won. And then, of course, in a couple weeks, we'll have to do another podcast and trash talk about which team won and why that was.
Yeah.
And anything you want to add?
I just want to, I just want to say real quick that we will be having that conversation later. I'm interested to hear what your excuses are this year.
Oh my God.
Last year, of course, you had a couple players you were missing. Fair enough. Valid excuses. This year, I'm actually a little bit interested to see what you're going to say. However...
I'm going to say I won, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can tell yourself that after the fact, but it's, it just won't happen. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. That I enjoy this a lot, and I think that, if you guys watching, listening, enjoy our banter, then can leave a like on the video. Go check out Crafty's channel, of course, if you're watching some on my channel, and go click his link for the fucking jerseys, because goddamn it, never pay $110 for a basketball jersey. Don't do it. Do not do it. Pay the knockoff jerseys. Sorry for saying they're knockoffs, but shit, they are. But they're good, actually. They're actually good. Never pay full price for a jersey. Any sport. Do not do it, man. It's a fucking ripoff. No, I swear to God, it is.
You just gave me the best advertisement. That's better advertisement than I've ever done for Jersey Frost. Honestly, they need to give you a call after that one. Dude, it was awesome doing this with you. To everyone else who's listening, it was great having this happen. And at least I'm signing off. If you want to do your own sign off, you go ahead after me. But peace out, guys. Hope you have a fantastic day.
It's whatever. We're feeling good, living better. Drake once said that. Peace out, y'all.